we look at a few elements. So we look at a shape which looks like this. It basically comes out of a shape which is actually a rectangle. So a rectangle, and again you take this midpoint and you take that half, plot it over here, take that half and plot it over here, and you construct an arc over here and an arc over here. So that shape is your start or your stop. So whenever you start a function, you will start with this shape and you will also end with the same function. So you don't say end, you say stop. Okay. In the middle, you will have two main types of shapes. One shape that looks like a parallelogram, or some people even choose to just make it as a rectangle. And the other shape that you will have to keep in mind is a shape that looks like this. It's basically like a rhombus, but this is a shape which is used when you are deciding something. So for any decision that you take forward in your steps, this is the image that you will put, and this is for all the actions that you do. So if there is a task and for that you need to do an action, then you will use these two, either of them. But please remember, if you're using this in one, you can't suddenly change it to that. You will have to use that throughout. Same with this. And decision will be like this. Now decision basically means if yes, then you're going to move forward. If no, then you're going to repeat the action. So you have to write it. So this is the way flowcharts are made. So what you will do is, once you've written down all the steps of how you're making your simple product, you will have to convert all those steps into a flowchart. And the next part to it is that you take that flowchart of yours, and this can be made as per each component separately or as the whole thing together. Now, once you've made the flowchart, the next thing that you do is create a log chart. And then the log chart is something where you start doing things like this. So you will have to show, like for example, if say the first step is that take the material for component X and put it all together. So then what you will have to do is, like a comic strip, you will make a frame, and within that frame you are basically going to draw out all your materials which you think will be working for will work for that particular component, and you're going to show that. Then the next step is probably going to be take a pencil and do the dimensioning. So you will have to draw a pencil on a material, and then you show that you're drawing a line. Okay, so if that helps a person understand what you're doing. Next step, let's say, is to clamp it and cut it. Now there may be two different tasks, but you may choose to draw them both together. So for example, you may choose to say that, okay, I'm drawing the clamp. This is how the so-called clamp looks, one side of it. The other side obviously is not showing because you have maybe your piece over here. And once you have drawn that, then you show a saw which probably has gone in a distance. So something like that. And you can shade this if you want. Of course, it will have a handle to it. So you'll have to do a better job than that because I'm using a sketch pen. It becomes a little bit of a challenge. So let's say you have drawn this and you have combined different steps together. So you can choose to do that too.